two important questions for you this month, Aquarius. One is, do you consider how your smaller everyday decisions are weaving your larger fate? And to go further, do you ever consider that the spirit in which you make those choices affects the feel of that larger fate? Hi, welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline. If you haven't been here before, here on Zero's Journey, we use a compass of courage, curiosity, compassion, and creativity to get where we're trying to go by being fully exactly where the fuck we are. So, before we get into the map or the story of your month in tarot cards, I want to kick off with your North Star, an orientation point that Spirit offers that wherever you find yourself in whatever situation or dynamic this month, if you orient yourself toward this, you will be finding alignment and moving in the right direction for you. So, your North Star this month is fate. And this can seem like a misnomer, especially to a progressive Aquarius. You know, everybody has their opinions on fate, destiny, free will, etc. Take this with a grain of salt, sugar, cinnamon, whatever you like. My understanding from Spirit has been that this world, this Earth school, is a combination of free will and destiny. In other words, there are certain events or people that we are quote unquote fated to encounter because they're really important to our spiritual development or what have you. And life, spirit, universe will bring us right up to the gate. But then we get to choose if we walk through, if we turn around, if we set the whole place on fire. So, how your small everyday choices weave your larger fate is the question, and then again the spirit, the energy with which you weave your fate. Have you ever had food cooked for you by somebody who loved you like so much, a mother or a family member or a partner that was like they put all of this love and affection and attention into this thing for you? The feeling and the energy that you get from something made with love and attention and affection versus something made on the fly by someone who is hating every second of what they were doing is potent, is significant. They say that we can tell our true commitments, a person's true commitments, by where they spend their time and energy. When I ask this question, Aquarius, I intend no blame, no shame, no judgment. We don't do that on this channel. You prize your objectivity, your ability to see things clearly. So if you were to look at your own life and the way that you spend your own time, does it align with the things you feel and say that you are committed to? And if it doesn't, that's not an invitation to punish yourself. It's an invitation to live in better alignment with yourself, to enjoy and be fully present and engaged with every moment of every day so that you can have the life that you really want, so that the choices that you're making really do weave the fate that you say and feel that you ultimately desire. So, it's amazing how much habits and routines add up to events and occupations. So, something to keep in mind, Aquarius, as we look at the story and the map of your month. So, Spirit, what do you want to share with Aquarius in the month of November? What do Aquarius people need to know for their highest good? Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising, Aquarius Dominant folks. Where are they in their story in November? And what energy is most affecting them at this time? What do you want to share with Aquarius? What energy do you want to make Aquarius aware of for their highest good, Spirit? So that they can have the most peaceful, pleasurable, fun, interesting month possible for them. What do they want to be aware of? The pitfalls, the potentials, the hidden factors, Spirit, What do you want to share with Aquarius for their highest good? Always and only for their highest good. Let's see what we got. Perfect. All right. Let's go, Aquarius. Wow. That's appropriate. Yes. You have an important decision to make. And I kind of feel like it's a commitment to yourself. A commitment to yourself, a commitment to your truth. We're talking about being in alignment with yourself. Bear with me, Aquarius. I want to pull one more card. I want to get a little clarification about your future. Spirit, I see Aquarius is thinking a lot. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's a good antidote. Okay. Let's come to the center of your reading, Aquarius. What a beautiful, awesome set of cards to kick off your reading. You have the Wheel of Fortune crossed by the Six of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune, season changing, cycle moving. There is absolute 100% movement here. I feel like some of you are a little scared. And of course, Aquarius, you recognize that these are general readings. So I'm going to get different messages for different Aquarians. Some messages will resonate, some won't. If something doesn't resonate, I don't want it to worry you. I want you to just pass it off knowing that it's for some other Aquarian listening to this. But if, bells in the back of your head ring, then pay attention and follow the through line of your own life. Follow the energy, right? So the Wheel of Fortune always shows up when we have learned something, when we have come to the end of a cycle and then this new one is ready to begin. And the Wheel of Fortune also often implies a stroke of really good luck. Like, whoa, where did this windfall come from that kind of pushed us into this new place, this new life, this new sequence of events is actually the phrase that Spirit is using. Well, your crossing card is Six of Wands. You showing off, you being admired for your skills. If any of you Aquarians happen to be the type that hides your light under a bushel, this would be the month to step out and show off in the position representing where you find yourself. Page of Wands. The pages are messengers. So a lot of you are speakers, actors, activists, people with something to say. We could even use the dreaded influencer. You've got something to say, something to share, and something fiery in this case. The Page of Wands is a very youthful energy. It's adventurous. Spirit is very specifically using the word daring. So it's like, hey, if I've been holding back, if I've been not sharing what I've been thinking, for what? It feels like, if anything, it's like kind of creating like a stopped up energy. Nine of Swords is anxiety. It's circular and intrusive thoughts. It's, the Nine of Swords often comes up for my air sign people or my air sign dominants because like the wheels are always turning, right? I'm an air sign myself. I completely understand. There is a temptation to intellectualize our feelings, and that shit is not helpful. Like, analysis is helpful up until a very finite point when it comes to feeling. And Aquarius, I hate to break it to you, but this month, you gotta feel your fucking feelings. We're gonna talk about it, but you gotta feel your feelings. Analysis and going over and over and over them is not gonna do it. Okay. Something amazing is happening in your life. A big change is coming, and Spirit wants you to be loud and proud about what you believe, who you are, showing off your talents. So if you want something new, if you want a change to occur, if you want to change your fate, start sharing your gifts. What's going on inside of you? Page of Cups, encouragement, revelation. This is another card of good luck, by the way, Aquarius. And hey, you're the water bearer. It's no surprise that you would be talking to this fish in a cup. This is also for whatever reason, and I don't always get this with the Page of Cups, even though it makes sense, but I'm hearing Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. So you might have a Pisces friend, you might have a Pisces healer, you might have a Pisces energy person somewhere around you who could be helpful to you as you go through this. I'm hearing the word metamorphosis. And if you want to change your fate, right, we got to change our mind, we got to change our heart. This person can help bring some revelations to you, some sweetness to you, some support to you, plain and simple. And I want to remind you that you come through at the position of where you find yourself. You come through as the Page of Wands. So this person very much matches your energy. You might even work together with this person. It feels like they're on your level. You both have that youthful, open-minded, exuberant, progressive type of energy. Might want to contact this person, or they might reach out to you and save you the trouble. Crowning your reading, the High Priestess, intuition, the quiet voice inside. The High Priestess also gives me no wasted energy. The High Priestess doesn't run around. She's also not, again, analyzing her feelings or her intuitions. The High Priestess rules irrational knowledge, irrational wisdom, So when I said that, some of y'all are going to have to get with the cold and frightening reality that you can't actually dissect and analyze your emotions to death. You're still going to feel that shit. You're going to feel it until you feel it. Do you know what I mean? You're going to feel it until you actually allow yourself to move through it and feel it all for what it is. No judgment, no whatever, no analysis, just, yeah, I'm sad, I know that he was an asshole, it doesn't matter, I'm sad, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The High Priestess rules irrational knowledge, like tarot readings and little nudges in your spirit to no, I don't want to go out with that person, or I don't want to go for this job. Pay attention to your deeper, subtler wisdom. It's a small, quiet voice. It is not the loud, gripping voice of anxiety. And when you have a bunch of anxiety or a bunch of overanalysis, or you want your intellect to dominate your intuition or your emotions, it's a lot harder to hear her. She's always present. I say she. That you can be anywhere on the gender spectrum. We all have natural intuition, but we do happen to live in a society and in a culture that kind of tries to drum us out of it and convince us that thinking is the ultimate. You have some intuitive and emotional wisdom that wants to swim up to the surface, and both the Queen of Cups, who is sitting in the key position of your reading, and the High Priestess know that you cannot reflect in muddy waters. So in tarot, right, the cups represent water. Water represents intuition, our consciousness, our unconsciousness. Swords represent the air. So air, wind, the mental realm, our thoughts. And our thoughts can really stir up and muddy the waters of the way that we feel about certain things. There comes a point where that's not helpful. You have come to that point. You have come to the point where Spirit just wants you to acknowledge what the fuck you feel. No determinations, no hypotheses, no conclusions, just feeling. Just recognizing that you know what you know with the High Priestess. So you might have the uncomfortable knowledge settle into your bones of, I don't want to do this job anymore, or this relationship isn't it, or I need to move to New Mexico. And you might be like, well, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting that, but sounds right. Because that's the thing about the intuitive voice. Even when it tells us something that we really don't want to hear, and let me know if you've been here. I certainly have, and I'd be happy to share. If you've ever been in a situation where you're, thinking about something or feeling something, and then this little soft voice comes inside and says, it's not going to work out. And you're like, oh. And here's the thing about it. the voice of anxiety saying it's not going to work out. It's like, it's not going to work out because, you know, you're a piece of shit, and the last time that you tried to do that, that's one way to tell the difference between like your mental and analytical like inner voice versus your actual intuitive, spiritual, higher self, quiet self, whatever you want to think of it as, your inner high priestess. The high priestess is just like, I know this to be true. It's not going to work out. So that you stop turning your wheels about it, right? She's not interested in giving you all the nuts and bolts of why it's not going to work out, or why it is going to work out, or why we need to move to New Mexico. She's interested in you knowing we need to move to New Mexico. Does that make sense, Aquarius? Oh my God. I'm glad that this happens to be Aquarians that I'm doing this particularly weird and intricate reading for. So, I want to take a quick look at your past. Judgment, awakening, alarm bells going off, rising from the dead, right? Going from being dead on your feet to being awake to the world, being awake to your fate. Ultimate fate, right? Gabriel blowing the horn. You've had some recent revelations. They haven't all been comfortable. Some of them have like felt like they have forced you into new and uncomfortable places. Recognitions of things about yourself that are strange and new and uncomfortable and irrational. It's normal and okay to feel anxious when you have all these thoughts and all these narratives going on inside. One of your antidotes is quiet time. I know that a lot of people hate the idea of meditation. Like, it's boring. I'm just going to sit there for 5 or 10 or 20 or beyond minutes and doing nothing and not thinking and blah, 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 blah. I get it. And there's kind of no substitute for letting yourself find out which unconscious thoughts are just repeating and repeating and repeating, so that you can then, just by noticing and observing, as we know in physics, right? Quantum physics, just by observing, change happens. So just by observing, like, oh damn, I'm just trying to sit here and be calm and meditate before the day starts, but you're useless has already popped up 8 times. Damn, am I just telling myself I'm useless all day? Well, damn, no wonder the things I'm creating don't really go anywhere, because I feel like the truth is I'm useless. Do you know what I'm saying? Aquarius, again, please let me know if you know what I'm talking about. So I want to make the jump and the connection from your past to your future. Notice the similar symbology here, but a very different energy. Revelation, like I said, waking up is disorienting. A lot of the time when we've been asleep to something, we're comfy, we're cozy, it's dark and warm and it's lovely, and then suddenly the alarm goes off and it's like, oh, I don't want to wake up. This is so nice. But all the good things happen while we're awake. Everything and all the adventures and encounters and inspirations become possible when we're awake. So it might have been uncomfortable waking up, but it is offering you the antidote. Because again, remember, this shows up in your future, Aquarius. You could spend your time continuing to overthink, continuing a cycle of like sleepless nights and just thinking, wording, analyzing. But really what that judgment, what that wake-up call is offering you an opportunity to do is to bring yourself into balance and harmony. It's only when we're awake to something's wrong. Only when we're awake to the fact that something's wrong can we make something right. Only when we realize this is out of balance can we bring it into harmony. Taking it easy, being gentle with yourself, kind to yourself. This recognition that you've had that maybe you are not living in alignment with yourself in certain ways. Maybe you do recognize, let's come back to the beginning of the reading. How are your smaller daily choices weaving your larger fate? Maybe you are recognizing that, hey, I say I'm committed to XYZ, making this thing or reaching this goal or having this or that, but my actual time spent and mental bandwidth spent and emotional spending is over on these things over here. Ooh, I have some adjustments to make. Some gentle, healthy adjustments to make. Now that I know that, I can do that. But I did have to know it before I could do it. But this month you do have the power to be kinder to yourself, to make gentle changes, to bring your life into harmony, Aquarius. You've got a lot of good things, a lot of good energy coming to you. And you have the potential to let some things go, to lighten your load and walk into a more beautiful future. Light on your feet, confident, passionate, excited, jazzed. And if you haven't felt confident and excited and jazzed in a minute, here it comes. Here it comes. And it comes from being aligned with yourself, with actually hearing and feeling yourself. Good changes are coming, Aquarius, and they're coming as a result of you recognizing certain truths about yourself and then living in alignment with them. I'm wishing you incredible additional luck, not that you need it. Thank you for being here, for listening, Aquarius. I really hope that this reading is helpful for you. If you ever want to get a personal reading, or if you want to get additional readings from me, I do a monthly call-in show for people who support my work on Patreon. I've also got a Discord community where people just hang out and talk that like the concepts on this channel, and we chat about all the things. So if you ever want to do any of that, it's all in the box below. Subscribe if you vibe, like if you like, dislike if you didn't. Thank you again for being here, Aquarius. And if I don't see you in one of the vlogs, then I hope I will see you in your December reading. Bye, Aquarius.